Namaste everyone and welcome to Hindu Samaj Temple. And following this excellent puja by Panditji, we have a topic for discussion today, and the topic is very interesting: happiness. We all want to be happy, and we want to know about happiness in depth. Happiness is one of the features that is most studied. It has been studied extensively, and still it is very elusive. So happiness we don't understand thoroughly, and happiness, every human being wants to be happy, and this journey starts from childhood till the end, and still we are not reaching the destination. We are always incomplete, thirsty, and following some more desires. So we really want to know what is happiness. And this happiness, we will go through the Eastern culture as well as the Western culture. So in the Eastern culture, we have the maximum information, and we will go by the Advait Vedanta of Adi Shankaracharya ji. And for the Western understanding of happiness, we'll go through the Greek philosophers who gave tremendous emphasis on finding out what is this happiness. So first we will go through the teachings of Adi Shankaracharya. According to Shankaracharya ji, our essential nature is Atman. Our original essential nature is Atman, and that Atman is Sat, Chit, and Anand. That the characteristic or the qualities of Atman is Sat, Chit, and Anand. So it is eternal Sat, Chit, it is consciousness, and Anandam is bliss. Uh, so we don't have to look for happiness. We are happiness itself. We are personification of happiness. So no, to be unhappy is an illusion. Happiness is not an illusion. To be unhappy is an illusion. So we are all happy, but we have forgotten our original self, and that's why we feel incomplete and wanting human being. So the reason for our unhappiness, our distress, our running around is nothing else but our forgetfulness of our original self. So Shankaracharya ji says that if we go back to our original self, which is covered by the layers of vasanas, and that's why we cannot get the bliss of Atman. So the thing recommended by Shankaracharya ji is to meditate upon our own original self and realize that. According to Shankaracharya, the happiness is divided in two groups. One is called Visayananda, and other one is Brahmananda. Visaya means our desires, and the happiness that we get by exposure to sense objects, that is Visayananda. So Visayananda, the problem with Visayananda, that's what we all are aware about it, and we are following. So that is the exposure of the senses to sense object gives us some happiness. But the problem with this Visayananda is it is very transient. It is expensive. It is hard to get. It is the effect is not lasting, and the ability of sense objects to give you happiness diminishes on more exposure to the sense objects. So it is very transient and almost always followed by pain in the trail. So Visayananda, and this is our own experience, that there are activities which make us happy, and then again we go back to our original shape, or even worse, and sometimes we become unhappy. So the real Ananda, is Shankaracharya explains, is in Brahmananda, realizing the Atman. Once we realize our own soul, then that joy, that happiness is steady, lasting, and forever. But to realize that it is not going to happen on its own. So to realize that we have to make an effort. We have to make effort to know Atman, and once you know that, you get the Anand which is sustained forever and it is yours. And then you are not counting on the worldly joys once you have that Brahmananda we have received. But like I mentioned, that it is not going to happen on its own. On its own, our senses go downwards like water goes downwards, and senses goes to the objects in the world, and we have contact with sense objects and senses, and we have transient happiness. When the contact is taken off, or on prolonged contact, we lose that happiness. While the happiness coming from the realization of the self is lasting. To realize the self, Acharya recommends 3 steps. So that is Sravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Sravana on what? Sravana on the ultimate truth. What is the ultimate truth? By all scriptures, we reach to one conclusion: Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvamasi. I am that. I am Brahman. That is the essence of all the scriptures. And to meditate on this truth after listening or knowing this truth, manana means continuous repetition of that. So the mind, which is the main obstacle for us to realize Atman, mind gets trained. We are talking about Patanjali Yoga Sutra and training of the mind. And so mind gets trained because of the repeated japas, as the mind is now receptive. And then you continue to do that. That is called nididhyasan. Means you are going to practice this, you are going to do it all the time till it becomes your second nature. So, the way to train the mind is by abhyas. Abhyas viragyabhyam chitta nirodha, Patanjali. By abhyas and by dispassion, viragyabhyam, these two, chitta nirodha means you can control your mind. So once the mind is controlled and focused only on one goal, Am Brahmasmi, that is called Nididhyasana. So with the prolonged practice, now it is not an intellectual concept. You become that. Example, like you put the cucumber into vinegar and keep it there for a long time. Slowly, the cucumber becomes pickle. Means now it is marinated and cucumber loses its characteristic and becomes pickle. It is now no good for making a salad. So now it is not cucumber, it is pickle. Similarly, to the brain of a yogi or a devotee, we all are devotees, and it is recommended that you do this. Once you do this, then you realize the joy and peace of Atman. So we at the moment have forgotten Atman because of our mind. Mind comes in between. So the mind originally created entity called ego, which is very selfish. So the mind which is loaded with multiple desires, and now the ego has taken over, and we feel that I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am so, and I am deficient in so and so. Otherwise, we are not deficient. Our Atman is Purna. The Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. We chant that all the time. Means we are part of God, and that's why we are complete. We are not incomplete. That's why Acharya says that feeling unhappy is an illusion. You are not unhappy. You are taking yourself to be unhappy. Why? Because what happened? Because of the ego, we made oneness with the body, mind, and intellect. We are not body, mind, and intellect, but we made oneness, mistadatmya, with body, mind, and intellect. So whatever happens to my body, I think it happened to me. I feel sad or happy. Whatever happens to my mind, I get insulted or something. I get offended. While we are not body, mind, or intellect, we are pure consciousness. So to realize that you need a knowledge. These these our pain, misery, agitation, and continuous effort to become complete is a result of avidya or ignorance. Ignorance of forgetting our soul. So the treatment is vidya, means you go back to your original. So to understand that, we have to understand the equipment that the God has given to us. And that's why God explains in Gita and other scriptures that we are not this body. How come? So God says that Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha. Means these five basic elements which are gross. So these five elements and Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha, Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar. So these eight is my Prakriti. So that is called apara or ordinary power of God. So God says that is my ordinary power. So bhumira po analovayu kham mano buddhi revacha. Ahankar iti yam me bhinna prakritir astada. This is my lower prakriti. They are inert. They are dead. They cannot do anything on their own. So God says, aparayam itatvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho ya idam dharyate jagat. On the top of that, Arjuna, I put the life element called Atman in you. Aparayam itatvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. That is para prakriti. Jiva bhuta, the life element in every jiva, jiva bhuta. Mahabaho, ya idam dharyate jagat.
Reena,
By these nine things, I conduct this. So the truth is that we are not this body, mind, or intellect. We are pure soul. But by our own practice, we made oneness with the body, mind, and intellect, and whatever happens to body, mind, intellect, we started thinking that is happening to me. And that is the cause of our pain and misery. So separation and distancing our soul from mind, intellect, and body is the way to be eternally happy. That is called witness principle. Means you are a witness there. That I am a witness. Whatever you can call as this is not you. So this is pen. So I'm not this pen. This is my hand. I'm not hand. This is my intellect is not so sharp. So that I am separate from intellect. My mind is getting confused or getting agitated. So I'm not mind. So this way you know that I'm not mind, body, intellect. You separate out. I am Brahman. I am pure Anand. Once that knowledge establishes in us, then it is a witness principle so that the trauma that happens to your body, mind, intellect has no power to disturb your original soul. Original soul is a big I. That is Atman. The Atman with combination of mind and body is a small I or ego. And that ego, if we can understand and destroy, then we are enjoying the joy and power of soul, which is not said anytime, which is Sat, Chit, and Anand. It is Ajar, Amar, Avyaya. Means it is a non-depleting one. That knowledge it comes, you will start feeling that I am immortal. As an Atman, I am immortal. As a body, anything can happen. As a mind or body or intellect, they are subject to trauma or happiness up and down. But my soul has no problem. I am Purna. So that is the Advaitic teaching. By this knowledge, you are established in your Atman, means you are eternally happy. Suddenly, if something happens and the air condition goes down in the temple and it becomes muggy and hot, you are not going to get disturbed if you are an evolved soul and if you are this understanding. So the external factors will not cause any waxing or waning of your ananda position which you have in your Brahmananda, or by realizing that you are an Atman. So that is the way to this is the way to become eternally happy. So Acharya wants us to go on that path and realize the ultimate truth. Otherwise, we are subject to pain and misery all the time, and that is the reason we are never reach our goal of lasting happiness. Nobody wants a temporary happiness. Everybody wants lasting happiness and intense happiness. This is our goal. But the things of the world, they cannot provide you lasting happiness or intense happiness because they themselves don't have that characteristic. So they can only temporarily make happiness. And that is our experience. And that's why our search for happiness is not finished unless we reach to this knowledge that I am not this body. So, so I am not this body, I am not this body, mind, intellect complex, I am pure soul. So that is Advaitic Vedanta. And so that is what Acharya wants us to do it. It is not going to happen on its own because it is a demanding process and self effort is required. We never did it. We took an easy path and let our senses go in the world and enjoy happiness, pain, all these experiences, and we took it to our heart. And if we made money, we will be very happy. We lose money, we will be sad like crazy. If we are healthy, we are very happy, and some sickness comes, you are shattered. By true knowledge, not that it doesn't happen to yogis, but yogis are immune to all these happenings in the world. So they are eternally happy. So this is the way to Brahmananda. Now let us examine what the Western science and Western philosophy explains. So, like I said, the Western philosophy is based on Greek philosophers, and that was by Zeno. By Zeno started this what is called Stoicism. That is very similar to our Vedanta. You will see how much similarity is there. That is called Stoicism. So, according to that, I, as an as an individual is a limited consciousness shrined in this body. And the nature or nature or universe is a big I that is called logos in Greek. From that comes the word logic. Logos is a part of divine knowledge, or what we explain as Brahman, they call logos. So, according to Stoicism, we are part of that divine knowledge, which is the term there as, as big I with the nature. And we are small I, individual consciousness. So, so in Western philosophy, it is divided into two. One is something that is under our control. We all understand. And there is something which is not under our control. So, according to Stoicism, happiness depends upon our virtues and our understanding that there are things that we can change and there are things that we cannot change. So that is the philosophy. So the things we can change are my own understanding, my own bias, my own opinion, my own desires, my my action. These are the things within my control. But the things I cannot change are somebody else's understanding, somebody else's opinion, somebody else's desires cannot be changed. Nor we can change the mother nature which is functioning outside. You cannot change the external nature as well as the nature of others, or the outcome of your own efforts, that those are not under your control. Things under control is my opinion, my desire, my action. Things are not under my control is somebody else's opinion, somebody else's understanding, or my outcome of my efforts, that is karmanivadhikarastil, as a result of my efforts, or the mother nature. If it is going to snow like this and make life miserable, it will happen. So to accept that very peacefully, that is the Stoicism. In Stoicism, there are two things. That is that the goal of Stoicism, being a Stoic, or this is a Greek word. No, Stoicism is that I want serenity. That is called ataraxia. In Greek, ataraxia means serenity and what we call peace, santi. Santi, serenity, or ataraxia in Greek is the goal of Stoicism. To get to that goal, we have to know that I am a limited consciousness and there is a divine consciousness, and that divine consciousness is not under my control. So that is, once you know this knowledge, you reach to the goal of ataraxia or serenity. Another thing we have to know is amorphity. That is also a Greek word. Amorphity means accepting the nature or of providence very happily. That is that is that is amorphity. So these two major principles. I want to be serene. So I know the difference that I am a limited consciousness. There is a divine consciousness outside, and I cannot change what is going to happen. So that is called amorphity, or accepting whatever happens with happiness. So that is the Western philosophy, original Western philosophy, which is very similar to Vedanta. So they want they want ataraxia means serenity. We also want peace of mind. Unless you have peace of mind, you can never be happy. If you don't have peace of mind, you cannot be happy. So there's a similarity. Similarly, we also know that we are limited consciousness. Everything is not under our control. Main control is under the divinity. Without naming the God, here it says that a divine consciousness, and we are part of it. And whatever happens, accepting that with joy means you are always joyful and happy. If you do this, then the happiness is yours forever. There is third principle of Stoicism is that examining every day the negative things means you examine every day that whatever good you have today, the wealth, name, fame, money, life can be taken away from you without warning at any time. These you, these you remember every single day. So that is called negative visualization. So Stoicism recommends that negative visualization every day. By doing that, you are not attached to your wealth, youth, or nothing, and you are aware. And if it happens, you don't get a big jolt. So negative visualization, serenity. To get serenity, you know that I am a limited consciousness, and there is a major consciousness or universal consciousness outside, which is called logos. And to align with that, I have to align my little consciousness with the universal consciousness, because universal consciousness in Mother Nature is very logical and rational. And we ought to be rational and logical. If we become, that is an alignment of the two. And that is recommended by Western philosophy. We did not learn Eastern philosophy, we did not learn Western philosophy. We took a easy path that, okay, these are senses and these are the objects, and the corporations kept producing on TV and newspaper and everywhere, and we kept enjoying, and a child starts with a lollipop and gets addicted to this thing. That is the reason we do not have either Eastern knowledge nor Western knowledge. And we think that the Western is materialistic society and all garbage. That is also wrong. It is garbage because they have forgotten their Stoicism, and we have forgotten our Sankaracharya. So that's why Eastern is bad and Western is bad, because you forgot. So that we are nothing else but ignorant people of, of the real reason for happiness or unhappiness, and like little kids, and we don't grow, and we become 30-year kid or 50-year kid without the knowledge. And to be that's why we are not happy. Tomorrow something happens and to your body or mind, or you lose $1 million, and you will be shattered, because we have no intellectual background or knowledge. So that we are subject to pain and pleasure, up and down, and will get bruised, and the time will run out and will go empty hand. So the thing to do is to know the temporary nature of the worldly things and the joys that we are enjoying. There are two liners or three liners, which is very simple way to understand. Na nityam labate sukham, na nityam labate dukkham, lobam hitva sukhi bhavet. What it says? No one is always happy. Na nityam labate sukham. No one gets the sukha all the time. Na nityam labate dukkham. Not everybody gets, not somebody gets dukkha all the time. Lobam hitva sukhi bhavet. Problem is, get rid of your greed and you will be fine. So lobam hitva sukhi bhavet. We are unhappy because of the thirst of the hankering of our mind. So that we have to understand and follow up on that. So Everybody is subject to misery and happiness. Another four-liner, it says, कोई तन से दुखी, कोई मन से दुखी, कोई धन बिन रहे उदास, थोड़े थोड़े सब दुखी, सुखी राम के दास. Got it? Everybody has a problem. You stop anybody on the bridge and ask, and he will, my child is sick, or I'm going to the hospital, or I lost a job. Everybody has something there. कोई तन से दुखी, bodily illness. कोई मन से दुखी, getting divorced, or child is running away, or daughter is a drug addict. कोई तन से दुखी, कोई मन से दुखी, कोई धन बिन रहे उदास. The guy has no job, or had a job and now lost it. थोड़े थोड़े सब दुखी, सुखी राम के दास. So this is the proof positive way to be happy. So this is, I gave you four-liners. I take you to the now original material, Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Krishna says that you cannot become happy unless you come turn towards me. And both philosophy, Eastern as well as Western, advises you to take an U-turn, an inward turn, to be happy. So Lord Krishna in Chatur Sloki Gita, he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddhasa samanvita. I am the cause of all creation. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Origin is from me. Mata sarvam pravartate. Because of me, the whole thing goes. That is logos. Mata sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Knowing this truth, the intellectual people or devotees, they worship me. Not emotionally, not for anything, any other. Then he says, Matchitta madgata pranam bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. The one who has mind in me and wholeheartedly worship me, Matchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha means enlightening each other. Bodhayantaha parasparam means satsang parasparam. Kathayantascha mam nityam, talking about me, telling my stories. Kathayantascha mam nityam. What happens to them? Tushyanti charamanti cha. They are the only one who are satisfied and rejoicing. Then God says further, Tesham satat yuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upiyantite. God says, what will I do to them? Tesham, for them, these kind of people. Tesham satata yuktanam, always united with me. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam, worshipping me with all their heart. Bhajtam priti purvakam. I give them dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give them the right kind of intellect, which is called buddhi yoga. The dadami buddhi yogam tam Yenamam upyantite, so that they can speedily come to me. That is called Buddhi Yoga. That is the grace of God. And the final grace comes from God. So it says, that is Tesham Satyuktam Bastam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamavunti. Tesham Meva Anukampartham. For such devotees, Tesham Meva Anukampartham Aham Agnan Jamtam Nasyami Atma Bhavasto Gnanadipena Vaspata. For such devotees who are enlightening each other, doing satsang with all their heart, all the time, I give them right understanding, and finally, because of their ceaseless effort, I light up the lamp of knowledge in their heart. Tesham eva anukampartham aham agnanajamtam. There is a darkness of ignorance, agnanajamtam. Nashyami atma in the heart, atma bhavasto, gnana deepena bhasvata. I light the lamp of knowledge. That when that happens, you are Brahmagnani, or we have Brahmananda of Sankaracharya ji. And so that is the process, but we don't want a hard way, we want easy way. And after getting bruised, maybe 60, 70, maybe a few people will turn, but the real thing was to have this knowledge as early as possible. Then you are eternally happy. No one can make you unhappy, whether you lose a job, whether you gain a job, whether you are a millionaire, whether you are an ordinary school teacher. You are fully happy. Otherwise, you are not going to be happy. So, this is the Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy. But we did not take, we did not follow any of them. We followed this easy path. So, for 95% of people. So, for that treatment, the experts have divided our existence into three layers. One is a bodily level, or at the level of body. So that is the biological level, biological, psychological, and philosophical level. Three layers. We are essentially body, mind, intellect, and soul. So four things, and we have to be healthy in each one to be happy. If you are messed up intellectually, you can't be happy. If you are emotionally broken down and depressed, you can't be happy. If your body you have cancer and weak, you can't be happy. So the total health is necessary. So now the experts recommend that mind is the problem. They also know mind. Shankaracharya ji also knows the mind is the problem. Mind is the in between layer coming between the soul and external world. This mind is very tricky. And now we take scientifically that with anything happening outside, this mind secretes certain hormones and enzymes, and that is explained by acronym DOSE, DOSE. So dopamine, D for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. Our mind, which responds to everything happening around, any stimuli coming either through my eyes or ears, or bad news, good news, somebody insulting, somebody getting a job, job letter, losing job, all those things have upset my mind, and it secretes various kinds of hormones and chemicals. And these chemicals make me happy, sad, or takes me down. So of this dopamine, remember those: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. We all know about that. So dopamine is called a reward factor. Means whenever I complete some task very successfully, that dopamine surge happens in my mind. I get A plus, or a child gets, or a teenager gets A plus in the class. He's happy. He comes, and there is a dopamine surge. If he gets a B grade or C grade, that dopamine is not there, and he's depressed. So that is a dopamine is a reward factor. Oxytocin is a bonding factor. So oxytocin is a very important hormone, and that happens with our social interaction. Example, I'm waiting for a friend. I got a message that he's coming to see me. I go on the airport. I'm happy already because he's coming. He's my buddy. I haven't even seen him. I'm waiting for him. He's in the immigration. Then he comes out, and he's so happy, and I'm happy. I give a big hug to him. oxytocin surges at sky high, and we both feel extremely happy. So that is the function of oxytocin. And various circumstances we come across. Then serotonin is a stabilizing factor. It increases in response to exercise. It increases in response to exposure to sun and your status in the society or in your field. Say if somebody makes me the director of medicine, I got a status and I'm very happy. That is the function of serotonin. Then later on, if they demote me to assistant director, I'm sad because there is no serotonin. Then endorphin is the hormone which is the liberated with exercise. That's why recommendation is do exercise and laughter. So that's why laughter is the best medicine. With the laughter, with positive attitude and exercise, exposure to sun, that's why Surya Namaskar is recommended in our uh, scriptures. So 15 minutes of sun exposure in the morning causes the surge in all these helpful chemicals. So these are also positive help in our being happy. But these are, I call it a band-aid treatment. Real treatment is to become Brahmagnani and be a master. All these things are helpful, but they are not the end of it. You can be physically very fit and still subject to the happenings in the world and immediately can get shattered. So they are helpful, but the second layer is social. So that was the biological level, then psychological level. At psychological level also there is acronym that is called PERMA, PERMA. Each one stands for different activities in the society. PERMA means P stands for positive emotion. If I have positive emotion like joy, like gratitude, then it makes me happy. So positive attitude with positive thinking and emotion will make you psychologically, emotionally happy. So P stands for positive emotion. Then E for engagement means you do the activity which in which you get absorbed, something that you love. So you like painting, you are doing painting. You like puja, you are doing puja. You like bicycling, you do bicycling. But you are involved in that activity. So E stands for engaging activity. That will make you happy. R stands for relation. The lasting, stable, trustworthy relation, good family structure, good relation with children, with your spouse, with your colleagues, that will make you happy. And we have experience. If there is a fight going at work, you will be very unhappy. Nothing bad has happened. You still have Mercedes, but you go to work and you are sad. Why? Because that factor was taken away from you. So that is a relation. That meaningful activity. M stands for meaningful activity. Meaningful activity, if we do, that makes you a lasting happiness. The regular activity, going to Starbucks, is not a meaningful activity. It will give me a joy, cup of coffee and a nice cake. As long as I'm eating, I'm fine, and I come out, and that happiness is gone. But meaningful activity, if you do, they are demanding, they are difficult, but it will give you a lasting happiness. Example: you give a voluntary services in a temple. It's demanding of your time, you're spending your time, your energy, everything. But it is a meaningful activity, will make you joyous for a long time. That's why we do it. You are singing for somebody else, no, to help make them happy. We all do that. Giving lectures for benefit of others without wanting anything. Positive activity, meaningful activity. Doing the voluntary work and in a parking lot, helping the cars to be parked properly to help the temple. Meaningful activity. Though you are in the rough weather, you are spending your time, nobody is noticing you, but you are happy. So that is meaningful activity. So that is and that is M for meaningful as activity, and accomplishment, A for accomplishment. When you accomplish anything, no, you complete marathon, you will be at the top of the world. You make a nice painting which you are working for 10 days, and beautiful painting comes. You are happy like crazy. Whether others are happy or not, but you are very happy. So because you accomplish something. So that is PERMA, PERMA. These are social activities which make you very happy. And the third one is 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 uh, is philosophical, or attitudes that we have to take it in the life. So there are two kinds of activities. One is called Sreya, and other one is called Preya in our Hinduism. Or or we call it in English, we call it pleasant or purposeful. Pleasant activity means I buy a car, I'm happy. I buy a new purse, I'm very happy. I go to a movie, I'm very happy. So that is pleasant activities. But that happiness is very short lasting. You go to a very famous restaurant, you are happy. That is a pleasant. So pleasant activities and purposeful activity. Purposeful activity, like we explained, is that which has a great meaning for you to comply with your own values, your own satisfaction, and your higher goal. That gives you, though demanding, that gives you a lasting, long lasting happiness. So that is that, and in our Hinduism we call it is prayer and sreya, means which does good to you, to society. You are now focusing on a higher goal. Instead of your own goal, you are thinking of your family, for of society and others. That is the purposeful. And once you do that, you feel krutkrutya, means you feel accomplished and satisfied in the world with your life and with yourself. So this is the analysis of happiness from Eastern and Western culture. And unless we have knowledge, we will remain at a low level of up and down, kill time, and go by empty hand. If we have knowledge and we do positive things, you will be satisfied, advance, evolved spiritually, and you go very happily. So we all go. That's it. But that is the way of happiness. And if you have any question, you can ask. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. But
Uh,
our scriptures are so powerful.
Thank you,
Shankaracharya is
Atul.
powerful. So everything is. So you please ask any question.
I think I'm going to ask one question. Is there any difference between contentment and happiness?
Happiness you get when you are contented.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not contented and wanting, you can't be happy. So that's why it's lobam hatva sukhi bhavet. Get rid of your greed and be happy. So contentment, that is a very important factor. And contentment comes when you do a tyag. There's a dispassion. Tyagat santir anantaram. With tyag, dispassion, you will have eternal peace. And eternal peace means eternal happiness.
Atuji, very nice talk.
Oh, you are there. Okay.
Yes, I,
I'm
I
honored.
like my five F's or six F's of happiness, and I'll just say it in 1 minute. F is having good friends like you. To have
Yes,
good friends and socialize on a regular basis, that gives you happiness.
yes.
Number two is love your family, very important. Before you go outside,
That's
take
it.
care of your family, love your family, and
Mm.
that will give you happiness. For others, as you are doing, giving lectures or helping in any way you can, philanthropy, that gives you happiness.
Yes,
Financial, of course, forgiveness and gratitude. Be thankful every day.
that's it.
Rather than complaining, be thankful what you have.
Yeah, that's
And,
gratitude. Yes.
and faith in God,
Faith in God.
faith in God is very important. I think those five apps. And last is financial planning. Make
Yes,
sure you always do that. And because most of the unhappiness comes from poor financial planning.
yes,
Because money is important. When you
yes.
lose money,
Money is an important, money is
very
an
important.
asset.
And philanthropy, that gives you happiness.
Yes,
Financial, of course, forgiveness and gratitude. Be thankful every day.
that's it.
Rather than complaining, be thankful what you have.
Yeah, that's
And,
gratitude. Yes.
and faith in God,
Faith in God.
faith in God is very important. I think those five apps. And last is financial planning. Make
Yes,
sure you always do that. And because most of the unhappiness comes from poor financial planning.
yes,
Because money is important. When you
yes.
lose money,
Money is an important, money is
very
an
important.
asset.
And
Money is,
philanthropy, that gives you happiness.
yes,
Financial, of course, forgiveness and gratitude. Be thankful every day.
that's it.
Rather than complaining, be thankful what you have.
Yeah, that's
And,
gratitude. Yes.
and faith in God,
Faith in God.
faith in God is very important. I think those five apps. And last is financial planning. Make
Yes,
sure you always do that. And because most of the unhappiness comes from poor financial planning.
yes,
Because money is important. When you
yes.
lose money,
Money is an important, money is
very
an
important.
asset.
And
Money is an energy. Money is
yes.
an energy. It is an
So
asset.
those are the six F for
Yes.
happiness.
Yes. No, you said that. See, it fits with whatever we spoke for
Yes,
1 hour. No. So
absolutely.
so you are on the path of Sankaracharya and you are a stoic. No.
Dr. Chokshi,
Stoics were not monks, but they were very learned people with rational people, and that is the Stoicism. Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Chokshi,
Haji,
wonderful lecture.
I'm glad. Yes, sir.
Only thing which I feel is Eastern philosophy is saying that I'm Atman, realizing that is next to impossible it looks like, even though we know we are body, mind, and spirit, but we cannot go back to say I'm Atman. How many people are, even the saints and all, they're still regular human being, maybe better than an average person, but still they have not realized that they are Satchit Anand or they are Brahman. This is a difficult journey, an impossible journey. Am I correct or wrong?
No, but for that, the Shankaracharya ji and all the saints say that it's a long path. You have to be persistent. We were never persistent. You became a scientist, or I became a doctor by working for 25 years. How many years we have worked for spiritual gain? Nothing. So just once we are devoted and we have this knowledge, we see this path, and we are persistent, you will get to the destination. So that's why it is. Of course, it is very rare, but that's why Lord Krishna says that Manushanam Swastresu Kaschidhyatati Site. Out of thousand, one is going on this path. Yatataamapi siddhanam kaschinmaveti tatvata. And out of those thousand who are going on this path, one will know me. Means the chances are 1 in million. 1 in million we will reach up to Brahmananda. So it is very rare, but it is not impossible. No? So that is what God says you start. And once you start the spiritual journey, I am there with you with the railing and hold your hand and take you further. But you have to start. We never started. I went to school, college, and postgraduate. Did I go to spiritual path? No, I did not. So if we don't get it. I got multiple diplomas. They are now in attic somewhere. No, but but I did not go for spiritual path. But if you go, you get it. So you're right, that is very rare, one in million, but it is doable and enjoyable for sure.
Western philosophy seems to be simple, knowing, understanding the difference between what I can change and what I cannot.
That's it.
Realizing that is very simple
Yes.
compared to the Eastern philosophy.
Yes. So
Thank
so
you again.
so
Thank you
so the
again.
ultimate goal in Hinduism is moksha or liberation. Ultimate goal in Western philosophy is to realize nature, develop virtues, live peaceful life. If good thing happens, then you enjoy with gratitude to the nature or God. And so that's how they understand. They call it as logos or big I or universal consciousness. It's the same thing, universal I. And we call it as moksha, means liberation, total liberation. So that is the terms are different, but they are very close and very similar.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think because of short of time, I think I would like to have a couple of bhajans also. So I will request Kavita ji and then Meenakshi, two bhajans. And if I have time, maybe have third bhajan. So Kavita ji, please go ahead. And then Meenakshi be ready. And I'll see if time, one more bhajan. Thank you so much, Atul ji. It was a great, great lecture. Really enjoyed it,
Yeah.
Atul bhai, great lecture. Thank you.
Oh, you are there. I'm so
Yeah.
I'm so honored. I just
Kavita ji, please go
sent the
ahead.
link to you.
Yeah. Thank you. It was an excellent lecture. Thoroughly enjoyed.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
मेरे सर पर रख बनवारी अपने ये दोनों हाथ देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ मेरे सर पर रख बनवारी अपने ये दोनों हाथ देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ देने वाले श्याम प्रभु से धन और दौलत क्या मांगे देने वाले श्याम प्रभु से नाम और इज्जत क्या मांगे भी तो श्याम प्रभु से धन और दौलत क्या मांगे मेरे जीवन में अब कर दो मेरे जीवन में अब कर दे तू कृपा की बरसात देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ श्याम तेरे चरणों की धूली धन दौलत से महंगी है एक नजर कृपा की बाबा नाम इज्जत से महंगी है मेरे दिल की यही तमन्ना मेरे दिल की यही तमन्ना करूं सेवा तेरी दिन रात देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ इस जन्म में सेवा देकर बहुत बड़ा एहसान किया तू ही कृष्णा तू ही राम है हमने तुझे पहचान लिया इस जन्म में सेवा देकर बहुत बड़ा एहसान किया तू ही कृष्णा तू ही राम है हमने तुझे पहचान लिया जन्म जन्म तक साथ रहोगे जन्म जन्म तक साथ रहोगे रख लो इतनी बात देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ सुना है हमने शरणागत को अपने गले लगाते हो। चाह कोई उठने से पहले झोली भर के जाते हो। तू चाहे जैसे रख बनवारी, तू चाहे जैसे गिरधारी, बस होती रहे मुलाकात। देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ। अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ। मेरे सर पर रख बनवारी अपने ये दोनों हाथ। देना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ। अब तो कृपा कर दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ। कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की।
Thank you, Kavita, for a beautiful bhajan. Meenakshi, please go ahead.
हाँ जी, ओके, ठीक है। हाँ। वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा। वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा। मन ही मन क्यों जले राधिका, मोहन तो है सबका प्यारा। वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा। जमुना तट पर नंद का लाला जब जब रास रचाई रे। तन मन डोले कान्हा ऐसी बंसी मधुर बजाई रे। सुध बुध कोई खड़ी गोपियां जाने कैसा जादू डाला। वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा। रंग सलोना ऐसे जैसे छाई हो कटा सावन की। ऐरों में तो हुई दीवाने मनमोहन मन भावन को। तेरे कारण देख सांवरे छोड़ दिया मैंने जग सारा। वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा। मन ही मन क्यों जले राधिका, मोहन तो है सबका प्यारा। वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा।
Raji ji, please, I need bhajan from you today. Raji ji? Raji ji, are you ready? Unmute yourself, please.
So, one is. Okay, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला, तेरी राख तके ब्रिजबाला। बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला, तेरी राख तके ब्रिजबाला। ग्वाल बाल जग जग से पूछे, कहाँ है मुरली वाला रे। बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला, तेरी चाख तके वृद्धबाला। कोई न जाए कुंज कली में बिनकुल चूने तूने को। कोई न जाए कुंज कली में तुझ बिन कलिया चूने को। तरस रहे हैं तरस रहे हैं जमुना के तट धुन मुरली को सुनने को।
धुन मुरली को सुनने को। अब तो दरस दिखाते नटखट क्यों ये धाम में डाला रे। बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला तेरी राख तके ब्रिजबाला। बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला तेरी राख तके ब्रिजबाला। संकट में हूँ आज वो धरती जिस पर तूने जन्म लिया। संकट में हूँ आज तो धरती जिसमें तूने जन्म लिया। पूरा कर दे ए, ए, पूरा कर दे आज वजन वो गीता में तो जन्म का। पूजा कर दे आज वो धुन को सीधा में तू याद निजा। कोई नहीं है तुझ बिन मोहन भारत का रखवाला रे। बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला तेरी राख तके ब्रजबाला। बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला तेरी राख तके ब्रजबाला।
राशि में आसम सिंह भजन
तो भगवान की जय।
Thank you, everybody. This will conclude our today's program.
You
I
can
have
say.
thank you, Panditji.
Hey, Vinod, I
for
want to say
doing
something.
a-
Bolo.
Thank you, Panditji, for doing a great puja for our sponsor, and thank you, Atulji and Vandanaji, for sponsoring today's puja and for the great lecture. It was happiness we had before lecture also, but this was really very, very I would say that knowledgeable and really describe in a way we can really implement our life in a very different way, in different by different aspect. Thank you so much for giving us this lecture.